I was trying to do a video and it cut me off at 1 minute because of the sound. Not a very good part of this particular app. There's people that know how to do it 10,000 times better than I do. Okay. So I'll attempt to add that at the end. It's Take the Power Back by Rage Against the Machine. Great stuff. Now, today's diatribe is What is the Left, part 732. I came up in the left in the late 60s in the last century. That's right. I came up during the generation of protest, during generations of Students for a Democratic Society, of which I was a member, during the generation of the Weathermen, during the generation of the Trotskyites in the SDS. That's when I came up. I came up, I forget the guy's name now. There was a professor at ASU. I think his name was Alinsky. Anyway, or Alinsky. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what his name was. That's what got me into left-wing politics. Now, before that, I had been kind of FDR Democrat leaning because of my family. That's what they were. They were FDR Democrats, my parents. My dad was like a conservative guy in a lot of ways. Didn't want to pay income taxes. Used to get in trouble with IRS all the time on that. I followed suit later. At any rate, that was the left wing. The left wing was not the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party in those days had just had the migration of the Southern Democrats, the Dixiecrats, over to the Republican Party. They started their migration when LBJ laid the Civil Rights Act on them. Okay, so there's people out there that say, that LBJ was one of the worst racists around. And that the reason he did that, I don't want to make a long talk on this. The reason he did that, though, was to piss off the Dixiecrats because he didn't like them. He hated them. Well, I didn't really know who they were until later, Strom Thurmond, and then out of that shit pile came George Wallace. George Wallace ran for president. Then later on, he got shot. He got shotgunned and was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. This is the FAFO that we are warning you Trump-type folks about, the ones that are going to be in power. This is the type of stuff that might happen to you. Only it's not going to come from the right, necessarily. It might, though. Right now, there's a big fight going on in MAGA. I'll tell you what, that's the best thing that could happen. There needs to be a big fight, period, amongst all those people, and I mean the people on the ground mainly, because a lot of the low-income folks are going to be really pissed off when they see that Trump's not there to help them at all. He's not going to help them at all. No. Those guys want to cut Social Security. They want to cut Medicare. They want to cut Medicaid. They want to get rid of food stamps. They probably want to get rid of GA, right? General assistance, So you low-income folks that depend on all that stuff, okay. Now, let's talk about what it is to be left-wing. In today's right and left and center controversy, most of the people are center right now. I would say almost half are probably center right. Definitely over half are center left, but I don't mean far enough to the left to be called a leftist, in my opinion. They're not leftists, they're Democrats, okay, or the independents that vote Democrat. That's what they are. However, the populist issues, which are left-wing, they came from the progressive movement, they came from FDR before that, these are the populist agenda, okay? Medicare for all, Social Security expanded, better benefits for everybody, full employment, lower prices, cheap energy. These are really that type of agenda. However, most of that, the lower prices and energy and all that, that really can't be accomplished without those industries being nationalized, because that pricing is controlled by companies. So they got the green light during Trump's debacle economically of COVID. They got the green light to raise their prices and screw everybody. Everybody doesn't have enough money to buy their shit. No, there's the upper 10% who got more than enough money to buy their shit, and they bought a lot of shit and kept the economy buoyant in the retail consumer sector. Okay, so that's what happened. Now, here's the thing. Really, there's not really much left. It's kind of around the center, what they call left now. Then you got these assholes like Cenk, who wants to be a populist. Okay, get out your fucking alligator shoes, Cenk. Yeah, it is. I would play that song Redneck by Randy Newman. That's what I'm going to put on here. Because that's what all this crap is. Okay? So you try to become a populist. You're going to try to win over these maggots. Now, some of the young people are going to come over. Some of the black people that went maggot, they're going to come over. Okay? So their majority they went for Kamala anyway. Okay? So some of those people are going to come over. Some of the Christian nationalists not nationalists, but the Christians are going to come over. That's going to happen. Okay? But here is the real deal. Okay, so center left is going to try to adopt the populist, what's called the populist, who's really the progressive agenda. It's really been the true left-wing agenda forever and a day. They're going to try and appropriate that. So they tried to appropriate it in this election, but things are just off kilter enough to where people are bored with politics. People don't like politics. They don't like controversy. You know, if there's trouble at the dinner table, it usually winds up in a divorce or kids moving out of the house. That's what happens. Americans don't handle personal conflict or interpersonal conflict well. There's too much retribution and vengeance violence on TV and in video games. You just kill them. Kill them. That solves everything. Get rid of them. The real left is, you're going to hate this, but it's Marxism and neo-Marxism and actually communism and socialism. That's the real left. Now, on the far, far left is your radical Bolshevik-style communism. Then you have regular old communism like they have in Vietnam right now. And then you also have socialism, of which there's many watered-down forms out there. Yeah. You got Europe has got, your democratic socialists, which they've appropriated things like social services, things like that, like we have. So we have about 3% of what we do is socialism. Okay. For me, the real deal, the real left is socialist and further left. The rest of it is just watered down, old right-wing centrist crap. Moderate. It's moderate crap. Okay? Okay, it's better than MAGA, way better than MAGA, but it's like saying, what shit do you want? Do you want the stuff that smells okay or the stuff that really stinks? It's all shit, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's all shit. Okay? And that's what Johnny Winter said in one of his songs. The world is shit, and that's why I love to sing. Anyway, so don't call yourself left if you're a Democrat, unless you're a Democratic Socialist, wing of the party. Then you are truly left-wing. Otherwise, you guys aren't left-wing. Nah. Cenk's not left-wing. Anna almost was left-wing. She used to host a Jacobin show. She was a big friend of Michael Brooks and worked with him. That was socialism. That was the real deal. And then after Michael Brooks died, shit kind of hit the fan. I think she had some fights with some of the guys on Jacobin, Ben and those guys, whatever. That's the real left. The rest of it is a fucking joke. So don't come at me with you're a leftist or whatever. And I am a left. I'm a real left. I'm old left. Yeah, I'm old, and I've been in the left since I was young. So that's the story. Are you left? Or are you left out? Are you MAGA? Well, if you're MAGA and you're young, get back to the left.